Good evening, this is Ali Tarneshi. Welcome to Connect with Ali, and our show focuses on cultural education and raising awareness through dialogue to inspire change. Let's dive together with my amazing guests to dive into diversity, inclusion, and equity to get to understand and support diversity from an immigrant and Canadian perspective. Please help me welcome my guests, Christy Heba and Dr. Nizar Abdussamad. Christy, please tell us a little bit about yourself and who is Christy?
Oh, sure. I'm born and raised here in Moncton, and I am coming here to represent myself as a person who loves to be heavily involved in the community. And so I'm with the Canadian Progress Club with the Greater Moncton Women. Mm-hmm. So I sit on that board as president. And so I'm excited to be here and discuss with you guys today.
Nice to have you.
Thank you.
Dr. Nizar, tell us a little bit about who is Dr. Nizar.
Sure. So my name is Nizar Samad. I'm a hemato-oncologist in the Moncton Hospital. That's mean blood disease and cancer. I'm also assistant professor in the Memorial and Dalhousie University, originally from Lebanon. And I did my studies in France for about 11 years, and I came to Canada in 2009, so it's been around 11 years as well.
11 years,
Yes.
Okay. Good to have you both. And before we dive into our topic, let's dive together. And my question that I would like to ask, what does diversity, inclusion, and equity mean to both of you? Whoever wants to jump to that question, what does diversity mean?
Yes, the diversity, if we go to the definition, is the state of diverse or different, and that's we mean in this case the community, so different culture, ethnicity, race, gender, all that, and the diversity has the positive meaning. So that's why it shares the meaning with the inclusion and equity. So to be diverse, I mean to have multiple variable personality on the same community who are working together.
Okay, thank you. That's really good definition from your perspective. From Canadian perspective, Christy, what does diversity mean?
Diversity is the spice of life, you know. It's all kinds of people make up this world, and it's nice to see people of different culture, ethnicity, religion, any type of belief. I think that's what makes life so beautiful, is getting to know those different people and seeing the different opportunities that are available to them and what they bring to the table in this world. So that's my definition of diversity.
Amazing. Really some great definition from both of you, spice of life. Yeah. And it depends on the personality, each one, because diversity, either we want it or not, it is a fact.
Yes.
And that just brings it to the next question. Diversity is a fact, and inclusion is the choice.
Right.
What do you guys think about that statement?
Well, diversity is a fact. It is what it is. That's how our world is made up, and inclusion is a choice for sure. And that's something that, as a human being, we make a choice every day on how we're going to include any different walk of life, whether it's social status, ethnicity, religion, any type of those things. It's our choice on how we include people every day, and that's a choice.
Amazing. I love that. What do you think of that, doctor? Like, inclusion is the fact, is the choice.
I agree completely. So diverse. If you take two people, different people, put them together, so that's diversity. So that's a fact. So for example, let's say in Canada we have diverse difference, as we said, culture, color, ethnicity. So that's a fact. But if we talk about inclusion, that's how much people are involved or feeling valued in the society or the community, how much they're doing the effort to be included, or the effort from the people of power, so that they will be included. So it is a choice. So I agree completely on this sentence.
It's amazing. It's the effort. and people when really take the effort to do something and to include people, it make it like it's more than a fact, because the fact is like either we want or not, diversity, it's you have red, you have black, you have white. That's the nature of things.
Right.
But it's I like something that I saw the other day. Diversity is like being invited to a team, but inclusion, who is going to play in the team? And that's why we are doing this type of conversation, just like to open, to raise awareness. It's not that we want to break that image about diversity. It is like scary. It's like, I'm afraid that I'm going to hurt somebody's feeling, or I'm afraid to say something wrong. I think we have to kind of, if you don't know the answer, ask. If you don't know about other people, ask about something that you don't know, because each culture is different. And that's why we are initiating this conversation. That's why we have a video that we will share later on about Eid, about what the Muslim community, like for Ramadan, last one we shared about Ramadan, and we're sharing now about Eid. So when you know something about different culture, we get to understand and we get to move forward. And that's the purpose of this conversation. Now that just will bring us to the next question. In your opinion, what is most challenging aspect of working in a diverse community or a diverse environment? In your opinion, what is the most challenging aspect of working in a diverse environment?
I think you can look at it from two aspects. Mm-hmm. I think it can be the challenges of your own challenge on on making sure that you're not educated or knowledgeable about the people that you work with. So of all of their different diverse things that make them up as a human being. Mm-hmm. The other challenge is also, if you're an employer or a coworker that has someone on your team that no one has taken the time to learn about, that can present as a challenge. Mm-hmm. So it certainly can be challenged if folks are not taking the time, like you said, to ask questions. Mm-hmm. And learn about different aspects of people. And it's not just culture, it's also social status and all kinds of different things like that, where in learning how people have come up through life. So in the type of work that I do in the non-profit, helping folks that are vulnerable, mm-hmm. You have to understand where they come from. And all different walks of life, if you're open to that and understanding the diversity of people, it brings a lot to the table. So mm-hmm. if you take the time to educate yourself about others, you'll be surprised as to how they can provide opportunities to you in a workplace or a team. So that's a challenge for sure, is being knowledgeable and taking the time. Mm-hmm.
So taking the time and getting to understand, read the social status, and as Dr. mentioned earlier about the effort, taking the effort.
Right.
And that's really help, like for a leader or a manager or a boss of a company, when they really understand all that, they can make the environment easy place for work for everyone.
That's right. It's an open book, right? It's open for everyone to understand.
Exactly. And probably, doctor, you see that a lot too, like to work yes. with at the hospital and all that stuff. Sometimes you deal with the different
Exactly. So there are many challenges for diversity and inclusion, and that's why everybody should do a lot of effort to get through this challenge. So challenges, first, communication, like mm-hmm. Language. When we have, like, for example, patient in the hospital who doesn't speak the same language that mm-hmm. we have, so we have to take care of that, find a translator. Mm-hmm. Another challenge is too many opinions that that can give for diversity, so that may make the diversity even something harder. Sometimes when we have diversity, there's some hostility between different group, like mm-hmm. any group, like races or ethnicity. Other than that, there's challenge in other than communication, in implementation, mm-hmm. if, for example, in an organization, the manager has some plan for diversity, but he said that he's too busy, he doesn't implement what he's doing, so that is another challenge, it's a fourth challenge. And the last one, in my opinion, is to retain some bad candidate. Like, if we think that to assure a diversity, we have to retain multiple difference, and somebody that is not competent that we have to retain just for diversity, that would not be good. That's another challenge. So we have to get over all these challenges to have a successful diversity.
Okay, good point. Communication is really, really good. Like very important in anything, because if we don't really understand, if we are not on the same page, we are not going to move forward. And that's why communication is the key even at the same family. Diversity, we could have like diverse family but each one have their own personality, each one have their own style, each one have their own way of thinking. Right. So it takes a good parent to really have good communication with them, have to get to understand them, and to include everyone in a diplomatic way without hurt anybody. So that's exactly what you guys shared, and I like what you mentioned.
I find it interesting how you mentioned it's interesting to hear from your perspective, for sure, because there are certain things that we take advantage of when we're comfortable, right? And so, like language, certain of the things that you take advantage of that you don't realize are a challenge. And I totally agree with you with regards to competency, just for the sake of having diversity. That presents a huge challenge in many aspects of life, for sure, especially in a working environment. So I appreciate what you said there.
Thank you, Doctor. That's a really good point from you and from Christy. This is just will bring us to the next one that's I think each parent need to do, or each at school or everywhere. Like, how can we foster the cross-cultural communication at an early age, especially like with our children? How can we foster the cross-cultural communication at an early age?
Well, my son attends Evergreen Park School, and their librarian, Marie Law, she's quite known in the community, and she, among other librarians, I'm sure, in the city, but I can only speak to my own son's experience, does a great effort talking about different cultures and different aspects of people. And so it's so exciting for my son to come home, and most recently he did a project on Morocco, nice. Right?
How old is your son?
He's 10. He's 10 years old.
Good age.
Yes, and they have Black History Month. They have inclusion with regards to sexuality. So it's important for us to have that conversation, and I'm so proud that in the education system that they are taking the time to educate children on those things, because it starts early, for sure. And it's also, I think, important. I know in my own experience as a parent is to be completely open and answer all the difficult questions about anything that they're curious of, because I think, growing up, a lot of times we would avoid certain subjects. We would avoid certain conversations, or just kind of dance around the subject. But when we're direct and we speak in the best terms possible based on their age, I think that will help them be shaped as a better human, for sure. Yeah.
Good point, Christy. It's always start at an early age and be direct from an early age, because those topics, sometimes, no, this is not for kids. They are too young for that, and they grow up and they have difficulty. Even when they are adult, they can't address them. Yes. And Doctor, do you have any
Yes, kids? Surely it is for kids. It is very important. Culture is very important. Culture, in my opinion, is the lifeblood of society. So like the dynamo of the society that make it move. So I'd like to take an example like Christy. For my boy, he's 6 years old.
6 years old?
Yes.
Okay.
And they have an activity at school that everyone come to school and talk about his country and his culture. And every student, they did like that, and they shared this culture, and everybody was very happy. That was really great. That we felt that's increase the thinking skill among children, and also life self-esteem and feeling valued and feeling belonging, because this culture, different culture, all together they constitute the society in Canada, which is a good diverse society. There is a study also among Chinese and Norwegian children that showed the same thing, that's really increased the feeling of belonging to the local culture, which is great. So it is very important to start with children.
I love this point you share, Doctor, because at an early age, when they do a topic about your country, you feel everyone will be like interested. Wow, you're like he did it about Lebanon,
exactly.
And everyone will come and asking those questions. The children will feel like they are valued. They have a sense of belonging, and they will feel respected because they are talking about your culture, and they feel like they are not kind of like, okay, I'm in a different country, different culture, but I feel like my culture adding something valuable to the other culture. So at school there is different culture. There is will be Chinese, there is Moroccan, there is Tunisian, there is Lebanese, there is different, and each one do something about your country, raise curiosity of other children to talk about it.
And the children begin to appreciate it as well. As, you know, a great story about that as well is, you know, they say the word out of the mouth of babe, right? You know, what children say, exactly what's in their heart, right?
You don't lie. No.
There's no lying. There's no filter. And so amongst telling these stories of inclusion and diversity, they begin to they don't see the difference anymore. Everyone is included. You know, you see the children playing basketball and people are from all over, and that's just their friends, and they're excited to see each other every day. And one of the incidents that, you know, my son came home to say was that one of his friends said to another friend who is I think he's from somewhere in the southern part of Africa, and they were explaining about Black History Month, and the children just turned and said, "We're so glad that you're here, that we get to learn about you." And I just thought that was so wonderful that the children were celebrating the fact that they had a diverse set of friends. I just thought that was fantastic.
Amazing.
So, yeah, that's a good story.
That's a good story, 100%, because the children, as you said, they have no filter.
No.
And they say what is inside, and
Yes.
they appreciate that it's different, and they learn from them.
Yes.
And do you think we have enough like for our children, or it starts from home, first of all, besides school? What is some of the stuff that we really need to do, like to make it more like children can discuss anything without feeling that they can talk about that, they can talk about that, they don't have to be scared to do stuff. Like as parents, we need to lead them think for themselves.
I know the children, and I know it's been especially challenging with this pandemic, really enjoy community type activities. You know, and I know you're going to talk about it later, but you know, the celebration for Eid, all children should be able to go access that and see what that's all about. You know, we would have in Moncton the Multicultural Association, the festival. Forgive me, I don't know the exact name of but I know that my son, the Monctin, thank you so much, the Monctin Festival. And that's something that we look forward to every year, because you literally go from one place to another and learn about another country. And I find growing up, because our city wasn't as diverse as it is now, and I think it's fantastic that we are, but we tend to be have tunnel vision, and we don't know any different. So then it doesn't prompt you to try to discover different parts of the world or different people. So it expands the curiosity of people of all ages within our city to want to look elsewhere, to look at different things. So yes, to answer your question, more community inclusion type activities that showcase all of the people that make up our wonderful city. Yeah, I
love that. And like as you said, with pandemic, it's hard to get really people face to face and to experience the mosaic.
Yes, yeah.
And I think our break is coming soon. So our next, we are just going to share with you a video that's going to highlight Eid. And Eid is in Arabic, it's just like a feast that we do after Ramadan, and just celebrating that, and all the children really get excited about that. We give them gifts, we give them different things. There's a balloon, and this year they did like a parade, And it's almost like Christmas, so everyone get excited, and hopefully next year I think they are going to do like all the decoration and stuff like that. So after the break, we'll be right back, and we will discuss more about the video. Thank you very much, and see you in a bit. Thank you.
Celebration of end of Ramadan, when the Muslims finish their 30 days of fasting. So they celebrate with prayers and meeting other community members and, you know, having meals together. So it's a festive time of the year.
Okay, so what we do like for children, usually I see all the children like the joy, happiness, you see everyone like enjoying the time. What some of the activity that we do for children for this this amazing
pandemic? I think we are limited to what we can do, but in normal circumstances we buy them gifts, we have them go to, you know, maybe amusement parks. Okay. We will buy them balloons and decorations, so, and good food. So everything for whatever the kids need.
Kids love food. So I mean, I know with pandemic there is not really much to do. Like most of the family, what they do in home, that's mostly like some of the activity to do home, like just to make them feel this special day. Yeah.
Right. So most of the families, what they do is they will invite close family and friends. So in pandemic, I'm assuming they will be inviting whoever is in their bubble and have meal together and you know, spend family time and community time together.
Okay, and I see some parade here, like I see some decoration on different car, and it looks really amazing. So this is the first time, huh?
Yeah, this is the first time, and this is you know, in pandemic we can't do anything else. So I think some community members in the community they thought they should do it. There's
Le Eid al-Fitr, c'est une grande fête, une des deux fêtes islamiques. Donc c'est après le jeûne du mois de Ramadan qu'on fait cette fête. Et puis ça commémore la fin de Ramadan. Et c'est une journée de festive pour l'islam. Et c'est une journée de communion et une journée de joie qu'on partage pour toute la Ummah. Alhamdulillah, on est là aujourd'hui. On remercie Allah pour ça.
Merci bien, Mukhtar.
Assalamu alaikum, and happy Eid al-Fitr to all my friends and all Muslim community in Moncton, New Brunswick. And Eid al-Fitr is very special for all Muslims because we will be fasting for a whole month of Ramadan. So since we are fasting for 30 days, so we are celebrating Eid al-Fitr. And especially for us, because since we are away from our country, away from our...
Where are you from, brother?
I'm from India.
India, mashallah.
India, Hyderabad,
mashallah.
Yeah. So since we are here, and we are very happy to see our community, a growing community in Moncton. And mashallah, the way that they are organizing the celebrations, and the way, even though we are in a situation, a COVID situation, but still mashallah, it's really good to see that we have a lot of community and the Muslims growing in Moncton area especially, and the way that they organize for the Salah, Eid al-Fitr Salah. And we were very excited when we came to know that there will be a parade after the Eid Salah.
This is the first time, I think, the first time they do it in Moncton for the parade.
Because this is our second Eid, because last Eid I think it was the same location, but there wasn't any parade. So this time, since there is a parade, so my daughter,
Hello, happy Eid. So what is the stuff we do for children, for kids? Assalamu alaikum. Eid Mubarak Saeed. Are you excited about the parade, all the balloon and all that stuff?
I'm very excited for the parade, and I helped with some of the decorations.
Amazing, amazing. So happy Eid.
Thank you. So since we heard about this decoration and the parade, so we were very excited. And this early morning we woke up and we tried our best to decorate the car and all that. So alhamdulillah, very happy, and thank you so much for you guys that you are supporting in a way that, you know, it's really good for Muslim community in Moncton.
Moi, c'est une chance que Dieu nous a donnée pour le remercier encore davantage, et une chance pour nous de célébrer cette fête, cette belle fête avec notre famille, toute la communauté, pour vraiment se réjouir de tout ce qu'on a eu à endurer durant le mois de Ramadan. Et ça, c'est vraiment une récompense pour nous, une fête pour nous les musulmans, pour vraiment se rassembler, avoir la nourriture ensemble, manger ensemble et faire plein d'activités avec les enfants et toute la famille, quoi.
Masha'Allah.
En gros, c'est vraiment une récompense de Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala pour cette belle journée.
Masha'Allah. Qu'est-ce que tu vas dire pour la communauté canadienne pour cette journée de Eid, seulement pour Happy Eid, Eid Mubarak.
Bon, voilà, je dirais à toute la communauté canadienne, Eid Mubarak, et vraiment jouissez de cette opportunité que Dieu nous a donnée, parce que ce n'est pas garanti qu'on soit là l'année prochaine. Donc vraiment, amusez-vous et prenez bon temps avec votre famille, Inch'Allah.
Inch'Allah. Jazakallah khair, brother. Merci bien. Eid Mubarak Saeed.
It's celebrating the end of Ramadan. Ramadan is when we fast for 30 days, and so at the end we celebrate the end of Ramadan. So by having what we call big fiesta. So
okay, fiesta. Okay.
Yeah. So this is Eid. This is the celebrating of the end of Ramadan.
Mashallah. And what we do for children, just like for activity and stuff?
For children, it's a very, very special day. So we make them happy. We make them very happy by let the kids.
À l'occasion de la célébration de la fin du mois de jeûne.
Ok.
Donc pour tout ce mois de privation, donc Dieu nous a donné un jour de joie, de fête, qu'on fait pour rassembler la famille, un peu comme chez les autres religions. C'est-à-dire, nous c'est un jour un peu comme nous, on va dire. On reste en famille, voilà, on apprécie, on mange, alors que pendant un mois on n'a pas pu manger, donc.
Alors c'est un jour de bonheur, de joie, de paix.
C'est une journée festive en fait, on va dire. C'est une journée festive, un jour de joie. Donc voilà, d'ailleurs c'est un jour tellement de joie que il est conseillé de visiter la famille, les gens qu'on ne voit pas.
Justement parce qu'on a rompu le jeûne, on mange durant cette journée. Donc c'est une fête. C'est une fête où on se réunit en famille, on se réunit entre toute la communauté musulmane. On fait plaisir aux enfants, on leur offre des cadeaux. Et en faisant des décorations, par exemple là on a décoré la voiture.
Ah, ça c'est bien, hein?
Pour participer à la parade. Donc on l'a fait.
Ça sera une parade après ça, hein?
C'est ça, exactement. Donc on a fait participer les enfants.
Eid Mubarak Saeed. Ça va bien? Alors, tu viens d'où?
De Dalhousie, dans la Mastigouche.
Dalhousie, Masha'Allah, Masha'Allah, Masha'Allah. Alors, normalement, c'est quoi la célébration de fils, de Eid? Tu fais quoi pour les enfants?
Alors, nous, on a préparé...
Salut.
Donc, nous, on a préparé à la maison un festin avec plein de gâteaux, des chocolats, des pâtisseries, des boissons. Et après, on va sortir, on va se promener, ils vont jouer dehors, on va aller dans un parc.
Ah, ok.
On appelle la famille qui sont en France, qui sont en Algérie.
Ça, c'est bien. Ah, tu viens de l'Algérie?
C'est ça, exactement.
Ça, c'est bien. Je viens du Maroc.
Ah, mashallah.
Mashallah. Ça, est-ce que c'est la première fois qu'on fait ça à Moncton, le parade?
C'est la première fois qu'on... Oui, c'est la première fois nous qu'on vient à Moncton, et je pense que c'est même la première fois qu'ils font une parade ici à Moncton. Inch'Allah, on va défiler dans la ville pour montrer aussi aux Canadiens notre religion, une religion de paix, une religion d'amour, une religion de respect, de partage.
C'est après le jeûne là.
Okay.
Il y a le mois de Ramadan qu'on va faire on fait de fasting, on fait de jeûne là. Et puis après les 30 jours, 27 jours, on fait la fête du Eid qui vient aujourd'hui. Okay. Il y a une prière spéciale pour ça. Et puis dans l'Eid en général, on voit les amis et puis on voit la famille. On se voit entre nous, c'est-à-dire on donne des petits cadeaux, etc. C'est une fête d'Aïd, quoi. C'est une fête pour les musulmans.
Et pour les enfants, on fait quoi pour les enfants? Comme on fait des cadeaux, des ballons et tout ça, comme la décoration là-bas et tout ça.
Exactement. Pour la fête d'Aïd des musulmans, c'est-à-dire Eid al-Fitr, on appelle ça Eid al-Fitr parce que ça existe deux Eid, il y a Eid al-Fitr et Eid al-Kabir.
Ok.
Donc pour Eid al-Fitr en général, c'est-à-dire on fait des barbecues outside, on fait des rencontres avec des amis, on leur donne des petits cadeaux, de temps en temps.
Assalamu alaikum. How are you doing, sister?
I'm good, alhamdulillah.
Good. Eid Mubarak. What is Eid? What does it mean?
So Eid is for the Muslims. We have two big holidays in our calendar, in our year.
Okay.
And so I usually liken this to Christmas and Easter for the Muslims.
Okay.
So this is our first Eid that we celebrate after the month of fasting of Ramadan.
Okay.
And then we have another Eid that'll come in about a month or so.
MashaAllah.
So Eid for our family is a big time of celebration.
MashaAllah.
As you can see, we're all gathered here as Muslims.
MashaAllah.
To perform our prayer together and to celebrate this happy day. And then usually there's gifts exchange, people get together and celebrate. There's usually lots of good cakes and things.
Oh, nice. Children will love that, huh?
Yes.
So usually what Muslims do like for the feast, like it's like just they're happy that now they can eat, and after they taste like the hunger, what the poor go through in Ramadan, now it's kind of make the children happy and stuff?
Yes, exactly, yes.
That's amazing. So what they give usually like as a gift for children and stuff like that mostly?
Usually they receive money so that they can buy something that they want.
Okay.
Usually, I don't know. It just depends on what they're into that year. Definitely toys is always a part of it.
Okay. So it's almost like a Christmas for Canadian.
Exactly, yes.
Amazing.
Like
so it's about joy, making children happy and everything. Oh, I love the spirit. It's amazing. It's already, my son already holding the balloons like for decoration and stuff.
And I just find it's especially important as us being a minority religion here, practicing in the West, that we need to make it exciting for our children, because they're not going to look around and see, like at Christmas time, you see all the lights and everyone's...
Hello, welcome back to Connect with Ali. This is Ali Tarnishi with this amazing guest, Christy Beheba and Dr. Nizar Abdul Samad. And as I mentioned earlier, we did a little video about Eid and the feast or the feast of Ramadan. And we ask people in the community, and we're just going to discuss it here with this amazing guest. And Christy, Eid, or Eid Mubarak Sa'id in Arabic. What do you know about Eid?
Well, where my son's father is from Tunisia, from Northern Africa, it's something that his grandparents have talked to him a lot about, and it's something that they get very excited about. And I know that his father growing up talked a lot about couldn't wait to get the candy and the new clothes, and you know, and certainly a lot about the fasting and all the important things that they do to take that special time to dedicate to, you know, Ramadan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. Dr. Abdul Samad?
Yes, Eid is a fest, as you said, or fiesta in Italian. So that is a religious tradition, but at the same time it is a culture, in fact, and it brings very good memory when I was in Lebanon, and so that gives a feeling of belonging or culture, and it is now we feel it like a part of the Canadian culture among other many cultures. So everybody celebrate in this occasion.
Okay, yes. Nice. So it's a cultural thing, and everyone bring their own culture with them and share it with the Canadian, as we said, for the children at school. And people get curious, like they want to know. And the reason for me sharing that, just like so we can educate the community about what is Eid. And just like Christmas, when we just came here to Canada, we were like so curious, what's Christmas, what we do? So you get to know and to get to understand. And the same thing when we share this with the community. And after seeing the video, what does that make you curious or want to know more, or do you think the community really would like to appreciate more stuff to know about the community from different culture, different countries?
At first glance, I just think it's fantastic that that community is making itself at home and being comfortable enough to come out and show their excitement and celebrate. And I think there can't be enough highlight to show what that's all about. You know, Christmas is all over the mainstream social media and television and all of those things. And I think it would be fantastic for that same type of thing to happen for Eid. And so that's fantastic. And I think that there should be more hype and invitation for more people to come and take part in that. And I know you had mentioned there was about 600 people there. For me, as a born and raised Monctonian, it's fantastic to hear that there are 600 people that have gone to celebrate and bring something new to the table to our community. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like about the doctor. Sorry I know the break is coming. We have like a couple seconds, and you are familiar with the feast and probably with all that, and just our break is coming. Sorry to cut our conversation, but we will be back and maybe discuss it in more details. And I appreciate your feedback and sharing about Eid and about diversity. Thank you very much, and we'll be right back. Thank you. Welcome back to Connect with Ali, and this is Ali Tarnishi with Christy Bheba and Dr. Nizar Abdul Samad, and we were just discussing diversity, inclusion, and equity. And we'll just go back to our questions and ask: effort to foster diversity without equitable practices and intentional inclusion will always fall short. What do you think? Or what is your thought of this statement? I will repeat that again. Effort to foster diversity without equitable practices and intentional inclusion will always fall short. What is your thought of this? Lady first, man first.
So,
go ahead.
So equitable is the chance of giving everybody equal opportunity, and when that is assured, so we will see inclusion. With diversity, we have multiple differences, but that, if it's not accompanied with equity, we will not have inclusion, because that is, I mean, if you imagine yourself in a community that we have multiple race and multiple gender or multiple origin, but they don't have the opportunity to do their work or to be involved in society. So that would be not a positive diversity. That would be diversity, but it will fall short, as you said here. It will not be effective.
So it will be just diversity for the show, but there is no meaningful to it.
That's right.
Excellent.
One of the challenges that I face with the Progress Club that we face is in our community is people with different social status or lack of education, lack of opportunity for education, or challenges with regards to economical challenges. And so having opportunities for education or places like the food banks, you know, we provide a bursary every year for a woman to get further her education. So, and we have our Ways and Means Committee where we make sure that anyone who's in a pinch that can certainly get some assistance, because we realize that there are many challenges, especially right now with the pandemic. And so without having these types of non-for-profit opportunities, it doesn't empower people. It does. So we concentrate a lot on women and children, and we want to provide them with the things that they need in order to be able to be included in the community. You know, there's, for example, we provide children with school supplies. They want to feel included. When a child goes to school and they don't necessarily have the equipment that they need to start school, they don't feel included. You know, if they don't have a new backpack or new shoes or the right mittens or hat in wintertime. So I'm really proud to be part of the Greater Moncton Canadian Progress Club, because those types of inclusions and equitable opportunities are something that we provide to all walks of life.
I love that. So it's all about, it's not just diversity as a name, but there's action to it.
Yes. So, and I think that diversity can be, by definition, not just necessarily about cultural differences. I think it's important to also realize within the different cultures, there are different social statuses and challenges within that as well, if you take a deeper dive into it. And so, if you're equipped with what you need in order to function in the community. So, you know, a lot of, I would tend to see too, a lot of folks that immigrate to this country face financial challenges as well, you know, and one of the most wonderful things that I took part of was with the Progress Club, but we were working with the Moncton Head Start, and they have a program called Coats for Kids. And so a lot of Coats for Kids.
Okay.
And so you know, we have a lot of people coming, for example, from Syria, immigrating into our country, and so with the minimal Arabic that I can speak, with numbers and sizes, trying to help them try on clothing for their, you know, 6 or 7 children that come. It's a huge challenge to be able to be prepared to have what they need in order to be included into our community as well. So we have to really think about all of those challenges for people that are currently living here or new to this community as well. Inclusion
yes. is as we shared at the beginning, is the choice and
the things that we wear in our education, and if we're fed well, fosters a lot about our confidence, whether no matter what color, ethnicity you are. You need the basics, right?
Basics need, yeah.
100%.
And we all discussed that at the beginning, and both of you shared that's the sense of belonging, when you feel respected, when you feel recognized, when you feel a sense of belonging, and you feel your identity or your culture being accepted or be recognized, you will thrive. And those basic needs. And if we don't have those basic needs, which just like there is no point. Like some company did just like use diversity as a label, just to show that yes, I have that diverse team here, but just to show the media or show the other people that I have a diverse. But inclusion is action.
Yes.
Like I do this, and they provide for your if you are capable, if you are like educated, you deserve that spot to do it, to do the job. You do it because we include you in the team.
That's right.
And that just will bring us to the next question. How does equity support inclusion and diversity? How does equity support diversity and inclusion?
So equity is, as I said before, it's the to have equal opportunity, but that's not necessarily from the same place. From that's according to the people or individual, and that's the difference between equity and equality. So equality, when you give everybody the same thing to start, but in equity sometimes people are different. So if you give them the same thing to start, it may not work. So that is similar to an example like. If you have, for example, a man, a boy, and a baby that wants to look over the fence on a match, for example, and you want to help them, so you put boxes, the same box in all over, so probably the man and the boy will see, but the baby will not see. What you have to, that's inequality. But in equity, you have to put more boxes for the baby, like 2 boxes, 1 box for the child, and no for the man, so all they can see. What I mean is that you have to help them according to to what they need, to the opportunity. So that's how equity can be helpful for inclusion and diversity.
Okay, so I'm hearing like mostly they have like the same resources, the same opportunity, and they have access to the resources. And it's almost like for hockey, I'm picking on you, Christy. Like hockey, if children all equip them with the equipment that need to succeed, but we have one child that we didn't equip them with the good tool.
Right.
That's not equity. Like if he fail, because we provide everyone with the right tools, that person is not equipped with the right tool. Right. So that's what we mean equity. Everyone have the same share. Everyone have access to the resources. Everyone have the same opportunity. And whoever is capable, or whoever is like deserve that spot, then he get it without that.
One thing that to build on that, when you mentioned sports. One of the things that we do with Progress Club is we have a charitable foundation, and our charity of choice right now is Special Olympics. So of course, folks that are intellectually challenged, and just thinking about equitable opportunities is, you know, I've watched many videos of Special Olympics of seeing these children who may not have the same sports skills as others, but when they're included and provided. And they're provided with the same opportunities, with equipment and that challenge and that team effort, and they get to play, you know, in different sports. It's amazing how they rise up to the challenge and how happy they feel and how confident they feel. So that's another set of diversity as well, is thinking about folks like that that, you know, do have challenges with intellectuality, and it's amazing to see how good they feel when they're provided with the equal opportunity to play in sports. So we're very proud of being part of that foundation, because we think it fosters, you know, the great opportunities for those children.
If I can add also that to what you said, to have an access to some people with disability, so that is really an equity that they are considered, and that can make the whole society be involved, and that's great.
That's a good point, Doctor and Christy, because I really love what you guys do, because that's Olympic for people with disability.
Yeah, and they literally call it inclusive sports, right? So you have you know, a striving athlete, a Special Olympian playing together, and that camaraderie of collaborating together for a goal to win a basketball match, let's say. It's an exciting feeling to see those diverse people working together to an end goal.
Amazing, amazing. Community is a diverse community with people with disability, with people with different color, with people with different religion, with people with different race, and they are coming together to thrive as one community. Right. That's why we like inclusive, diverse, equitable community. And this is just like, we'll bring it to the last question. I now have 3 minutes. And what is some of activity you would like to see in the community to support diversity, inclusion, and equity? I know 3 minutes, not a lot, but...
Yes, so as we were discussing just...
Food and music?
That's right.
Yes, food and music.
In culture, where like Mosaic, I like it very much because it presents different culture, so you can hear about culture and taste the food of different origin. Other than that, activity in school, as I mentioned before, with children, that's like talking about their culture. Other than that, in organizations, sometimes training, so the manager is responsible to create some training about diversity and inclusion, and that may take time and effort, but that will be important. Also doing committees, like in the hospital, I'm responsible of a committee called the Quality Insurance Committee, so that to ensure that there is a good quality of treating the patient, for example. In this committee, one of the goals is equity, because the patient should be treated in a very equal way. That's what I can think of, but there's a lot of activity can be done for this subject.
Really some great idea you share here, my friend, and we will definitely think about it and get that maybe in the future. Who knows? So. My friend Christy, I know you are involved a lot in the community and stuff. What is some of the activity you would like to see or you suggest? Or
well, as we spoke about earlier, in order for us to have inclusion, you know, we need to educate on diversity. So any type of activity that's going to be in our community that is going to showcase what everyone is all about is a fantastic idea in my books. So we were speaking on the break about how in larger cities there are streets, you know, there's Little Italy, there's, you know, Chinatown, there's places like that, you know, our community may not be there, but I encourage everyone to showcase themselves, and because, you know, our community has become so diverse that I feel like, I know myself, it's exciting to embrace those different things in our community. So anything that will help all walks of life. So if, you know, if someone who is Mexican that wants to create some type of display that's an exchange is going to help someone who's vulnerable, I think if we can work together with our strengths and weaknesses to help all walks of life within our community, I think that would be really exciting. Whatever it would be, you know, if it would be a fundraiser, making food, or a dance, you know, all the different exciting things for our culture.
It's amazing what you guys shared. I know our show come to an end, and we would love to talk more and more about, especially about diversity, inclusion, and stuff like that, and do some more activity. But time is coming, and our show come to an end. So see you next time. Let's dice together and bring a next guest next week to dice about diversity, inclusion, and equity. See you next time. Thank you very much, Dr. Nizar, and thank you, Christy.